The Soviet naval buildup, started by Admiral Gorshkov and intensified after the Cuban Missile Crisis, is in full swing. The Soviet Navy, primarily a coastal defense force until the late 60s, is now a true blue water power, reaching to every ocean in the world to actively advance Soviet interests. Okine 70, the largest naval exercise in history, involves over 200 Soviet and Pac ships and submarines practicing operations against NATO. To more effectively counter the growing Soviet threat, the U.S. steps up its strategic surveillance programs. Special operations submarines tap underwater Soviet communications cables. The first in a series of advanced reconnaissance satellites, the KH-9 Hexagon, is launched into orbit. And the first DSP satellite enters service, improving NATO warning of strategic nuclear attack. The ABM Treaty is signed while both superpowers rapidly expand their strategic nuclear forces. The Soviet Navy introduces in service two new powerful systems. The Delta-class strategic missile submarine for the first time allows seaborne nuclear strikes against the United States and NATO from Soviet-controlled waters. The new backfire bomber greatly enhances the ability of Soviet naval aviation to strike NATO carriers and bases with conventional and nuclear weapons. The Yom Kippur War catches the Western Alliance by complete surprise. For the first time since the Cuban Missile Crisis, U.S. and Soviet warships maneuver aggressively in close proximity in Mediterranean waters, ready to engage each other on a moment's notice. The Soviet strategic nuclear program continues to expand rapidly, showing no signs of slowdown. An entire new generation of light and heavy ICBMs with vastly improved accuracy, yield, and reliability enter service, not merely achieving nuclear parity with the U.S., but, in the view of many, beginning to shift the strategic balance in the Soviets' favor. Flash news report. While shadowing a Soviet Echo 2 in the Gibraltar Straits, the Royal Navy frigate HMS Ashanti was sunk with heavy loss of life. In London, the Prime Minister laid the blame for the incident squarely on the Soviet shoulders and has asked the Soviet Premier for an apology and appropriate reparations. Meanwhile, the Soviet Politburo has accused the Royal Navy of dangerous violations of international maritime law and has labeled the incident as tragic but unavoidable. Both sides have placed their naval forces on full alert. Soviet fighter, attack, and bomber reinforcements have arrived in large quantities on the Kola Peninsula. In the Norwegian Sea, Stenavferland, the standing naval force Atlantic, has sailed from Fastlane and taken a war footing in vicinity of Jan Mayen Island and assumed an ASW posture.